Imagine this. You are lying in a hospital bed, the sterile scent of antiseptic filling your nostrils, the rhythmic beeping of machines echoing in your ears. Your body feels heavy, distant, as if it no longer belongs to you. The room blurs, the edges of reality softening, and suddenly, you are no longer tethered to the bed. You are floating, weightless, drawn toward a light that seems to emanate warmth, love, and an inexplicable sense of home. You feel no fear, no pain, only peace. And then, just as suddenly, you are back in your body, gasping for air, your heart pounding as if it has just remembered how to beat. This is not a dream. This is not a metaphor. This is the experience described by countless individuals who have stood at the threshold of death and returned to tell the tale. Near-death experiences, NDEs, are among the most enigmatic and controversial phenomena in human history. They challenge our understanding of death and what lies beyond. But what if these experiences are not mere hallucinations or tricks of a dying brain? What if they are glimpses into a reality so profound, so ancient, that it has been encoded in the teachings of civilizations long gone? The stories are eerily consistent. A tunnel of light, a sense of overwhelming peace, encounters with beings of pure love, a life review where every action, every thought is laid bare, and then the return, often against the individual's will, to the world of the living. These accounts span cultures, religions, and epochs, suggesting that what lies beyond death is not a random construct of the mind, but a universal truth waiting to be uncovered. But here's the paradox. If death is the end, as material science insists, how can there be an experience of it? How can something that does not exist be witnessed, felt, and remembered? This question forces us to confront the limitations of our understanding. It challenges us to consider that perhaps death is not an end, but a transition, a doorway to a reality that our senses, bound by the physical world, cannot perceive. Ancient teachings from cultures around the world have long hinted at this truth. The Egyptian Book of the Dead speaks of a journey through the Duat, a realm where the soul is judged and guided to the afterlife. The Tibetan Bardo Thodol describes a series of visions and encounters that the soul experiences after death. The Greek philosopher Plato wrote of the soul's ascent to the realm of the forms, a place of perfect and eternal truths. These texts, though separated by time and geography, share a common thread: the idea that death is not an annihilation, but a passage. But why should we care about these ancient teachings? What relevance do they hold for us, living in a world dominated by science and technology? The answer lies in the urgency of the question itself. If death is not the end, then life is not what we think it is. Our choices, our actions, our very existence take on a new dimension of meaning. The ancient teachings are not just relics of a bygone era. They are maps, guiding us through the uncharted territory of our own mortality. As we stand on the threshold of this exploration, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to confront the possibility that death is not the enemy, but the key to understanding life? Are we willing to consider that the afterlife is not a distant fantasy, but a reality as immediate and tangible as the ground beneath our feet? The journey begins here, at the edge of the abyss, where life and death collide. You are floating, weightless, untethered from the physical world. The pain, the fear, the noise of life, all of it has fallen away. And then, you see it, a light. But this is no ordinary light. It is brighter than 1,000 suns, yet it does not hurt your eyes. It is warm, inviting, and pulsates with a life of its own. As you move toward it, you feel something you have never felt before: pure, unconditional love. It envelops you, understands you, knows you in ways you did not even know yourself. This light is not just a thing, it is a presence, a being, a source. This encounter with the light is one of the most universally reported aspects of near-death experiences. Across cultures, religions, and historical periods, individuals who have brushed against death describe this phenomenon with striking similarity. A Vietnam War veteran, a modern-day surgeon, a medieval mystic. All speak of the light as if it were the same entity, the same force. But what is it? A trick of the brain, as some scientists suggest, or something far more profound? The ancient Egyptians called it Ra, the sun god, the source of all life, and the judge of the soul. In Hinduism, it is described as the clear light of the pure void, a manifestation of Brahman, the ultimate reality. The Christian mystic Saint Paul spoke of being caught up into the third heaven, where he encountered an indescribable radiance. These descriptions, though clothed in the language of their respective cultures, point to a singular truth. The light is not just a symbol of the divine. It is the divine itself, experienced directly and intimately. But here lies the unsettling question. If this light is real, why does it reveal itself only at the brink of death? Why not here, in the fullness of life? The answer may lie in the nature of perception itself. Our senses, our minds, our very identities are filters, narrowing the vastness of reality into something manageable, something comprehensible. But in death, or near death, these filters begin to dissolve. The ego, the sense of self, falls away, and what remains is pure awareness, unclouded by the illusions of the physical world. In this state, the light becomes visible, not because it has appeared, but because we have finally become capable of seeing it. This raises another paradox. If the light is always present, why do we live in darkness? Why do we struggle, suffer, and doubt when the source of all love and understanding is within us, around us, waiting to be seen? The ancient teachings offer a clue. The Upanishads, sacred texts of Hinduism, declare Tat Tivam Asi, meaning, the light is not separate from us, it is us. Our true nature, our essence, is the light itself. But we have forgotten this truth, lost in the illusions of the material world. The near-death experience, then, is not just a glimpse of the afterlife. It is a reminder of who we are. It is a call to awaken, to remember, to return to the light even as we live. But how do we do this? How do we bridge the gap between the mundane and the divine, between the darkness and the light? The answer lies in the next stage of the journey, where the soul confronts its own reflection in the mirror of eternity. You are no longer floating. You are no longer moving toward the light. Instead, you are standing, or perhaps existing, in a space that is neither here nor there. Before you, a vast panorama unfolds, not on a screen, but within your very being. It is your life. Every moment, every thought, every action, every emotion, all of it is laid bare before you. But this is no ordinary replay. You are not just seeing your life, you are feeling it. The joy you gave to others fills you with warmth. The pain you caused ripples through you like a shockwave. There is no judgment here, no anger, no blame, only understanding. Profound, unshakable understanding. This is the life review, a phenomenon reported by nearly a third of those who experience NDEs. It is not a passive observation, but an immersive reliving. You are not just the actor in this drama. You are the audience, the director, and every other character. You feel what they felt. You see the ripple effects of your actions, the chains of cause and consequence that extend far beyond your awareness. A harsh word spoken in anger echoes through decades, shaping lives you never knew you touched. A moment of kindness becomes a beacon, guiding someone out of their darkest hour. The life review is often described as the most transformative aspect of the near-death experience. It is not merely a recounting of events, but a revelation of interconnectedness. Every action, no matter how small, is part of a vast, intricate web. You realize that you are not an isolated individual, but a thread in the tapestry of existence. This realization brings with it a profound sense of responsibility, not the heavy, burdensome kind, but a gentle, loving awareness that every choice matters. Ancient teachings have long emphasized the importance of this interconnectedness. The Buddhist concept of karma is not just a system of reward and punishment, but a recognition that every action has consequences, rippling out into the universe. The Native American idea of the web of life teaches that all beings are connected and that harm to one is harm to all. Even the Christian notion of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, reflects this understanding. But the Life Review takes this concept to a deeper level. It is not just about understanding the consequences of your actions, it is about experiencing them. You do not just see the pain you caused, you feel it. You do not just witness the joy you brought, you are immersed in it. This is not punishment or reward, it is education. It is the soul, learning, growing, and evolving. Here lies the challenge. If every action matters, how do we live in a way that honors this truth? How do we navigate the complexities of life, with all its temptations, distractions, and conflicts while remaining mindful of our interconnectedness? The answer is not easy, but it is simple. We must live with intention. We must act with love. We must remember that every moment is an opportunity to contribute to the web of existence, to add light rather than darkness. The Life Review is not just a feature of the afterlife. It is a mirror held up to our lives here and now. It asks us, what will you see when your life unfolds before you? What ripples will you leave behind? And most importantly, what will you learn? As the Life Review fades, you are not alone. Around you, beings begin to emerge, not as physical forms, but as presences, radiating warmth, wisdom, and an almost unbearable sense of love. Some describe them as ancestors, others as angels, still others as enlightened masters or extraterrestrial entities. Their forms may vary, but their essence is the same. They are here to guide you, to teach you, to remind you of who you are. These beings are a common feature of near-death experiences, appearing in nearly half of all reported cases. They often serve as intermediaries between the individual and the light, offering comfort, clarity, and direction. But what are they? Are they figments of the imagination, projections of the subconscious mind? Or are they real entities, existing in a dimension beyond? Ancient traditions have long spoken of such beings. The Egyptians revered the Netjeru, divine beings who guided the soul through the afterlife. The Greeks spoke of daemons, intermediary spirits who connected humans to the gods. In Hinduism, the devas are celestial beings who oversee the workings of the universe. Even in modern spirituality, the idea of spirit guides or guardian angels persists, suggesting that these entities are not bound by time or culture. But there is another, more radical possibility, that these beings are not separate from us, but aspects of our own higher selves. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the beings encountered in the bardo, the intermediate state between death and rebirth, are said to be manifestations of one's own mind. They are mirrors, reflecting back the state of the soul's evolution. The loving guides represent the soul's wisdom and compassion, while the terrifying figures embody its fears and attachments. This idea challenges our understanding of identity. If the beings we encounter are aspects of ourselves, then the boundaries between self and other begin to dissolve. We are not isolated individuals, but part of a collective consciousness, a vast network of souls evolving together. The guides, the guardians, the ancestors, they are us, and we are them. This raises a profound question. If we are all connected, if we are all part of the same collective soul, why do we experience separation? Why do we feel alone, lost, and disconnected? The answer may lie in the nature of the physical world. The material realm, with its limitations and illusions, creates the experience of separation, allowing the soul to learn, grow, and evolve through contrast. But this separation is not real. It is a temporary condition, a stage in the soul's journey. The beings encountered in near-death experiences remind us of this truth. They are not just guides. They are reflections of our own divinity, our own connection to the collective soul. They show us that we are never truly alone, that we are always supported, always loved, always part of something greater. But how do we access this connection in our daily lives? How do we remember our unity in a world that emphasizes separation? The answer lies in the final stage of the journey, where the soul confronts the ultimate choice: to return or to remain. You stand at the threshold once more, but this time, the abyss is behind you. Ahead lies the light, vast and infinite, calling you home. The beings around you radiate love and understanding, their presence a balm to your soul. You feel a sense of completeness, of wholeness, as if you have finally returned to where you belong. But then, something shifts. A voice, not heard, but felt, speaks to you. It is not a command, but a question. Will you stay, or will you return? This moment of choice is one of the most profound aspects of the near-death experience. For many, the pull of the light is irresistible. To stay is to merge with the divine, to become one with the source of all love and understanding. It is the ultimate fulfillment, the end of all seeking. And yet, many choose to return. They come back to the world of pain, struggle, and uncertainty. Why? The answer lies in the concept of purpose. Those who return often speak of a mission, a task, or a message they are compelled to share. They feel that their journey is not yet complete, that there is something they must do, something they must contribute. This sense of purpose is not imposed from without, but arises from within. It is the soul's recognition of its role in the grand tapestry of existence. Ancient teachings have long emphasized the importance of purpose. The Hindu concept of dharma, the Buddhist idea of the bodhisattva vow, the Christian notion of divine calling, all point to the idea that life is not a random occurrence, but a sacred opportunity. We are here to learn, to grow, to serve, and to contribute to the evolution of consciousness. The near-death experience, with its moment of choice, underscores this truth. But returning is not easy. Those who come back often struggle with the weight of their experience. They have seen the light, felt the love, and glimpsed the interconnectedness of all things. And now they must navigate a world that seems, by comparison, dark, fragmented, and indifferent. This tension between the seen and the unseen, the material and the spiritual, is the great challenge of the return. Yet, it is also the great gift. Those who return bring with them a piece of the light, a spark of the divine. They become living reminders of the deeper reality that underlies the physical world. Their presence, their stories, their very existence challenge us to question our assumptions, to look beyond the surface, and to seek the truth that lies within. And so, we are left with a question. What is our purpose? If we are not here by accident, if our lives are part of a greater whole, what is our role in the unfolding of existence? The answer is not something that can be given, it is something that must be discovered. It is a journey, a quest, a calling that each of us must answer in our own way. The near-death experience, with its vivid imagery and profound insights, is not just a glimpse of the afterlife. It is a mirror held up to life itself. It challenges us to live with intention, to act with love, and to remember our connection to the divine. It reminds us that death is not the end, but a doorway, a threshold to a reality that is always present, always waiting, always calling us home. And so, we return, not just to life, but to the truth. We return to the light, not as a distant goal, but as a living presence within us. We return to the journey, not as isolated individuals, but as threads in the tapestry of existence. And in doing so, we fulfill our purpose, not just for ourselves, but for all of creation.